The Board of Commissioners and reconvene as Tourism Development Authority for the presentation of the 2015-16 and 16-17 budget and set a date for the public hearing.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Seconded.
Second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Mr. Scanlon, or is the director?
But I will ask Ms. Kugler to come join us. She is part of the TDA, and so we'll ask her to As a quick review, the general statutes have set up the creation of a TDA, which the Board of Commissioners actually sit as. The Director of Travel and Tourism sits as a non-voting member, so you are sitting now as the Tourism Development Authority. You have the responsibility of adopting and setting the budget policy for portions of the Oxy tax. So we're here talking specifically about the Oxy tax. The Oxy tax is actually three taxes that were approved by the General Assembly in 1987, 1991, and 2003. The total of them is 6%. Each one of those slices has a restriction on it. The original has to go completely to tourism related. Each additional has to go 2/3 to promotion, 1/3 to tourism related. It breaks down this way. We're proposing in the budget we're estimating in the budget to collect $10.2 million in Oxy tax. $3.4 million would have to go to promoting travel and tourism, which is basically tourism director's budget, and $6.8 million goes to tourism related. So we'll talk about the travel and tourism department's budget. They are by statutes. The portion has to go to promoting, has to go to the publishing or distribution of pamphlets or other materials to conduct market research. So you are limited in how that $3 million can be spent. And this is our proposal. This is the breakdown of the travel and tourism department. Almost over 2/3 of the amount will actually go into publishing or promoting the county. Our promotion is broken down in this fashion. We predominantly use the internet and social media. We do a little bit of print, a little bit of radio, a little bit of television. Tourism related is where you have a little bit more flexibility. By definition, it is things that in your definition or in your discretion, the Board of Commissioners' discretion, that is used to, and it's actually a long string of things. People have a tendency to just focus on the tourism piece of this, but it is to designate to increase the use of lodging facilities, meeting facilities, recreation facilities, convention facilities, attracting tourists and business travelers. So there's a long list of things in there that in your discretion can be appropriately used for tourism-related expenditures. So it doesn't have to be exclusively related to tourism. This represents the largest things that we do with that source of funding. Connecting Crawley, you heard me mention earlier, it is for the large part of that is connecting it's about a 4-mile bike path. It's the parking lot. It is the ocean to the bathroom to ocean handicap access. It was suggested today that we should use some of Oxy tax to provide law enforcement. We do. We transfer over $1 million from the Oxy tax in the general fund to support additional law enforcement that's hired for the summer season. We also transfer another additional $1 million for additional ambulance units that are needed for the influx of population. We provide almost $650,000 cost to providing lifeguards in the Outer Banks. And the last one is a new item, sort of. Last year on this slide, you would have seen a whalehead appropriations of $800,000. We had historically appropriated $800,000 to the Whalehead Preservation Trust. But as you are well aware of, a couple months ago, the operations, the day-to-day operations of the whalehead was transferred to county staff, and we're presenting you a budget of $566,000 to operate that facility. So it's a net savings of about $225,000 alone in just operating the facility. Just like the county budget, I'm presenting it tonight. You need to set a public hearing for June 15th. You can adopt the budget at that meeting, or you can schedule a special meeting as long as we have it adopted by July 1st. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right. Any questions of Mr. Scanlon or Ms. Kugler? Hearing none. We need to set and the documents can be viewed.
Yeah, these documents, just like the county budget, the tourism budget, can be seen on the county website in its entirety. And we have a hard copy that's in my office, one for the public and one for the for the press.
So we need to set the public hearing, which I would suggest would be the same as the regular budget.
Mr. Chairman, move to set a date for the possible adoption and public hearing for the travel and tourism budget at our next Board of Commissioners meeting to coincide with our adoption and public hearing of our individual county budget.
I have a motion to set the public hearing. Have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Next item is closed session that pursuant to GS 143-318.11A3 to consult with the county attorney and to preserve the attorney-client privilege and to give instructions to the county attorney regarding the judicial action captioned Swan Beach Corolla LLC versus Currituck County pursuant to 143-318.11A4.